Just a short video this morning. We're going to do another bit of analysis on a DTP item. Here we've got an advert. It's a fairly simple advert because the publication it comes from is an industry magazine. That means it's a magazine that you don't go and buy out of shops. So they're not looking to sell it to anybody. They give it out free if you're a member of that organisation, and in this case it's the Educational Institute of Scotland. When you have these kind of magazines, they tend not to be sort of flashy and outlandish because they're not trying to sell them. They're simply giving information. But I thought it would be worthwhile having a look just at this advert that they've got on the back cover. This is an advert for Educational Institute of Scotland's Financial Services. What we're going to do is have a quick analysis of it. We're going to once again look at principles, elements and features, and we'll be looking for 3 of each and see what we can come up with. Looking first of all at the principles, as I said, it's a quite simple looking advert. There's not an awful lot going on in it, but there is still something we can have a look at. First thing I noticed about it was repetition. Look at this colour here, which is repeated here. It's repeated here. It's also on this line, and it's also on the clothing that the person on the right hand side is sitting on. So we've got a high degree of repetition, and what repetition gives us is unity. As we said in previous videos, a lot of these companies are looking for you to remember them, and how they do that is by repeating things over and over again. So we've got repetition of the colour here, here, here and here. A high degree of repetition. What else do we have going on? One of the other things we always look for is depth. What we can see from this image here, we've got a shape here, a shape here. We've got an information box at the bottom, and you can see that the images of the 2 individuals seem to be in the background. So once again we've got a high degree of depth going on. One of the things that emphasises that is the defocusing, or the kind of blur of this cycle helmet. Once again, that gives us the idea that this stuff here is at the front, the cycle helmet's a little bit behind it, and in the background perhaps are these 2 individuals. So we're looking once again for this idea of depth. The more depth we can get on a document, the more memorable it is. The third one we're going to look for is contrast. Contrast is our go-to principle when we can't find anything else, because we can always find contrast. And what we've got is contrast through a bit of asymmetry. Look at how these 2 shapes are placed. We would kind of expect them to be either side by side, or perhaps vertically aligned one above the other, but in this case they're just a little bit off to the side. Kind of catches our eye and makes us look at them. Contrast, remember, is anything which catches your eye and forces you to take attention of it. As before, we've got a little bit of text along a path, and text along a path always gives us contrast. So there are our 3 principles. Repetition, which gives us unity and helps with the brand identity. We've got depth, caused by the placement of the shapes on top of the individuals, and we've got contrast. Next we're going to look at the elements. Once again, there isn't a great deal going on in this, but the thing we can find straight away are shapes. We've got some very simple circular shapes. You wouldn't see this kind of advert in something which was, for example, a sports magazine, or a magazine which was aimed at people that like cinema or television, because it's a very simple advert. And once again, that's because of the type of publication that it comes from. It's not a glossy magazine, it's an industry trade magazine that they give away free, so they don't spend an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money doing their adverts. So you wouldn't see anything as simple as this in perhaps Empire magazine or Rolling Stone magazine. But we've got very clear circular shapes. And those shapes are there in order to draw your attention to what's written inside them. This one here very clearly saying, are you thinking about retiring? Notice again the repetition of the colour here, 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 here on the helmet, here on the shape, and here on the text. So we get that repetition going on within the shape. This shape here has got the colour in it, so there's another one of our elements, is colour. In this case, the colour is used as part of our unity and repetition. In this colour here, they've chosen a green colour because green tends to indicate safety or lack of risk. So if it's financial services, you don't want your money to be at risk, therefore they use green, which indicates that it's low risk. The other element that we're going to look at is simply text. Once again, text is our go-to element if we can't find anything else. Our text is very simple across here. They're all standard sans serif fonts. None of them are serif fonts. Remember, serif fonts tend to be used when it's long blocks of text that you have to read. When it's short, snappy bits of text, we tend to use sans serif. Remember, sans serif means without the serif or without the little flicks on the end of the letters. Broken down, our text here is left aligned. We've got the repetition again of the colour, look at that, the green down here, which is repeated with the green of the shape at the top. So we get that repetition going on over and over and over again. We've also got our features. Remember, features just means edits. So which ones have we got? Well, we've got alignment, so we talked about that, so we can clearly say we've got aligned text. We've got quite an interesting one here going on. We've got a gradient colour, or a colour gradient, we'll give it its proper name. So a colour gradient going from this very vivid colour, which is our repetition colour, and it's gradually moving down until it becomes this blue colour at the bottom. You may remember from your colour theory that blue, once again, is one of those colours that you can trust. Lots of banks, insurance companies, financial institutions try to use blue in their text or in their logos, which indicates safety and security. If you think about the Royal Bank's logo or the Halifax Bank of Scotland's logo, they are blue. What else do we have going on? Well, our third one is we've got bleed. If we look at the images, we can notice that this lady's shoulder is going off the side of the page and this lady's shoulder is going off the side of the page. Once again, when we use bleed, it's just to give it a sense of importance or weight. So we're looking a small window into a much bigger picture. So just to recap our principles, we have repetition through colour. Over and over again we've got repetition, green on green, lilac colour, lilac, lilac, and lilac, even as far as the sunglasses on the top. We've got depth through the placement of the shapes on top of the picture, and we have contrast with these two shapes being slightly asymmetrical. That means non-symmetrical, asymmetrical. Our elements we've gone for this time are the circular shapes. We've gone for the colour and we've gone for the text, and we focused on the fact that the text is sans serif because there are no long blocks of text, they're just short snappy little bits. Serif fonts are for long body text, sans serif are for short snappy bits of text. Looking at our features, we've got alignment, centre alignment here, centre alignment here, left alignment on this one. We've got a colour gradient, vivid colour, going through until it becomes this dark blue purple colour at the bottom, and finally we've got bleed coming off the page. So that's our analysis for this very simple advert from the Scottish Education Journal.